Prime Field.
Welcome Prime Field Nation. A single sentence spoken by the nation's top recruit reframed a recruiting contest, making sure that I have that demonstration how he holds them accountable. That's definitely something that I'm looking for in the program, Kaleena Smith told Rivals after an unofficial visit to UConn. This film asks one question. In a recruiting era defined by NIL deals and empowerment narratives, can a coach's demand for accountability, the Geno factor, outweigh money and marketing? The subject is Kaleena Smith. The setting is a 4-team recruiting battle. The prize is not only a scholarship, it is a development model. The stakes are both personal and institutional. In January 2025, Smith visited Storrs. The timing coincided with the Hoop Hall Classic and a live practice at Gamble Pavilion. She watched the program operate during a competitive stretch. She described the visit as a revealing demonstration of how coaches coach and how players are held to standard. The detail matters. Smith did not cite facilities or weather. She cited observable coaching behavior. The visit created a template. It offered a real-time comparison to other programs. That comparison would shape her evaluation of offers later in the cycle. Smith has framed her priorities plainly. Family atmosphere, a coach that can hold me accountable and help me get to that next level. The environment, the players, and just a family-oriented place, she said. The order is revealing. Family first, accountability second. For a prospect already decorated at the national level, this is a qualitative preference. Context matters. Smith entered the recruiting conversation with national honors. As a freshman, she was named Max Prep's National Freshman of the Year after averaging 34.9 points and 6.5 assists. Her sophomore season produced further recognition, including Gatorade State Player of the Year in California and National Sophomore of the Year honors. These achievements came under intense competition. They form the empirical basis for her stated need, a coach who will push rather than placate. Geno Auriemma's public statements and his program's record illustrate a consistent philosophy. He has described himself as demanding. He has framed demand not as personal temper, but as a mechanism for performance. The record is concrete. Across 40 seasons, UConn under Auriemma has sustained an all-time winning percentage in the high 80s, amassed more than 12 NCAA championships, and compiled an all-time record that runs into 4 digits of wins. The program's run includes a streak of 4 consecutive national titles from 2013 to 2016 and repeated Final Four appearances. Those data points are not rhetorical. They are measurable outcomes. Accountability, as Auriemma practices it, is presented as a programmatic feature. Standards, expectations, and internal competition that produce sustained results. That contrasts with competing pitches focused on autonomy or financial opportunity. A concrete complication intersects with philosophy, apparel and NIL alignments. In November 2024, Kaleena Smith became the first high school women's player to sign an NIL deal with Adidas under the company's initiative, led by Candace Parker. That signature created a commercial affiliation before college enrollment. UConn maintains a long-standing partnership with Nike. Tennessee announced a switch to Adidas ahead of 2025-26. The result is a structural mismatch, an Adidas-sponsored recruit considering a Nike-affiliated school. The tension is practical. It affects apparel, brand activation, and potentially the commercial incentives offered by Adidas-aligned programs. Yet the record in Smith's public statements indicated that the sponsorship concern has not become the decisive factor. Accountability remains foregrounded in her remarks. Smith's recruitment is active across multiple elite programs: UConn, LSU, South Carolina, and USC. Each program presents a different pitch. Each coach brings a distinct profile. LSU, Kim Mulkey, an aggressive recruiter with an intense coaching personality. Mulkey's pitch emphasizes energy and system fit. Recruiting stops at AAU events demonstrated LSU's active pursuit. South Carolina, Dawn Staley, a program built on recent dominance. The Gamecocks entered the 2024-25 cycle ranked among the nation's best and reached the championship game. Staley's approach has emphasized experience, program stability, and conservative navigation of the NIL landscape. USC, Lindsey Gottlieb and the West Coast model, a fast-paced, guard-centric system selling playing style, positional versatility, and a developing NIL ecosystem tied to West Coast markets and transfer portal activity. UConn, Geno Auriemma, not the warmest climate or the largest NIL offers. UConn's pitch is a development model, accountability, lineage, and a demonstrated record of preparing guards for elite professional careers. These are not abstract contrasts. They are recruiting propositions. Each asks the prospect to prioritize different outcomes: immediate role and marketability, system fit and climate, or a rigorous developmental program that promises sustained improvement. UConn's strongest argument is empirical. The program has a documented history of converting high IQ-driven guards into professional stars. Subert, a point guard whose college statistics and team records reflect precision and winning. Bird's UConn career included over 1,000 points and hundreds of assists, and team records that translated into professional success. Diana Taurasi, a scorer and facilitator who left college with more than 2,000 points and professional achievements that included WNBA scoring, leadership, and international accolades. Paige Beckers, a generational talent who arrived as a freshman AP Player of the Year, returned from injury, and concluded her collegiate career by leading UConn to a national championship and entering the professional ranks as a top draft pick. What these players share is not identical skill sets. They share development arcs shaped under the same coaching canopy, early responsibility, high expectations, and measurable solo professional outcomes. The argument is empirical. Accountability under Auriemma has been associated with both elite collegiate performance and a direct pathway into top professional opportunities. The recruiting era now includes promises of immediate roles, custom offenses, and substantial NIL packages. Programs shape narratives around player empowerment and brand building. UConn's narrative is different. It emphasizes a higher internal bar. For Smith, the calculus appears to privilege developmental rigor over immediate commercial optimization. Her public statements place accountability alongside family and environment as primary decision criteria. That places UConn's core strength, a demonstrated record of demanding development, at the center of the decision framework. The Adidas-Nike mismatch adds friction. Rival programs with Adidas alignments can offer clearer commercial integration. Still, Smith's emphasis on coaching dynamics suggests that structural brand alignment may be secondary to the perceived fit between coach and player. If Smith opts for UConn, she would enter a lineage of guards whose college arcs led to professional distinction. The empirical pathway is clear: intensive coaching, high expectation, and historical precedent of pro readiness. If she opts elsewhere, the decision will reflect a different weighting: immediate empowerment, system fit, or commercial advantages. Either pathway answers a different professional and personal question. The central question to accountability versus empowerment will determine both the player's development environment and the institutional narrative that follows. The Geno factor, framed as accountability, is neither sentimental nor merely rhetorical. It is a recruiting proposition built on historical outcomes. It asserts that a demanding environment can produce measurable improvement and pro-readiness. Kaleena Smith's public prioritization of accountability reframes a modern recruiting contest. In an era when commerce and autonomy often dominate headlines, Smith's statements suggest a different metric: which program will hold a player to a standard that forces growth. Legacy, in this account, is not defined only by championships or contracts. It is defined by the developmental philosophy a program embodies and the players it produces. If accountability remains an operative value for elite recruits, then the recruiting landscape will continue to feature a substantive choice: immediate empowerment or disciplined development. The final image is simple and factual. A top recruit watched a practice in stores. She named accountability as a priority. Coaching philosophy, in this case, is not a backdrop. It is the central offer. The choice that follows will test whether a coach's demand can still outcompete the market's money.
Prime Field